Hey everybody, this is Mr. P with another e-learning lesson for Math 10, and today's lesson is for Wednesday, May 20th, and we are continuing with volume. Okay, so finding that amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. Remember, yesterday's e-learning was volume of a rectangular prism. Today we're going to look at volume of a rectangular pyramid. Okay, so remember, with volume, we're still using our cubic units, right, to the third power, like centimeters cubed, inches cubed. And the formula we have, okay, it's length times width times height, but we have to divide by 3. So think of it as like a rectangular prism, and we're just dividing by 3, basically. Remember, like rectangular prism was length times width times height, but this is basically length times width times height divided by 3, or another way to think about it, you know, and if you prefer to do it this way, could be volume equals 1/3, okay, times the length, times the width, times the height, okay. But I find it easier to just do length times width times height than divide by 3. So a pyramid, okay, what's a pyramid? A pyramid, by definition, has what we call triangular faces, okay. So you can see the faces of the pyramid are triangles. We name a pyramid by the shape of its base, and we're going to focus today specifically on rectangular pyramids. So we can see the base is a rectangle. Of course, it could also be a square, right? Because a square is just a special type of rectangle that happens to have the same length and width. But when we're talking about the height of the pyramid, we're talking about the inside height. So if we kind of look at the first example, it's the height from the base of the pyramid all the way up to the peak, okay? So basically from the center of the base up to the peak. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about height. With length and width, we're still talking about, you know, the length of the rectangular base and the width of the rectangular base. Okay, so again, pyramid has triangular faces, and bases can be various shapes, but we're going to focus on pyramids that have a rectangular base, okay, or a square base. So let's take a look at calculating volume of a rectangular pyramid. Number 1. Okay, and we got to make sure we follow our order of operations here, which means we're going to multiply everything on top first, then divide by 3. So start with our formula: length times width times height, divide by 3. Okay, so I'm going to call the length 5, the width 6, 7 would be our height. All right, so we go volume equals 5 times 6 times 7 over 3. And before we divide, you have to multiply. 5 times 6 times 7, that's 210. Divide that by 3, and I get 70 inches cubed. Okay, so that would be the volume of that pyramid. Next one. Okay. Notice this one, the length and width are the same, so what shape do we actually have on the bottom there, on the base? That's actually a square, but still, okay, we still use the same formula. Okay, length times width times height, divide by 3. Okay, so length and width are the same, the height happens to be 10. Okay, so we go volume equals 6 times 10, divided by 3, so that's 360 on top, divided by 3, so we get 120 kilometers cubed. Next one here, we'll call 7 the length, we'll call 10 the width, and 12 would be the height. So again, go back to the formula: length times width times height, divide by 3. Okay, so we go 7 times 10 times 12, and that's all over 3. Multiply on top first. Okay, so you get 7 times 10 times 12, that's 840. Divide by 3, and you get volume is equal to 280. It's going to be inches cubed. All right. All right, last one here. Okay, we're going to call 12, the length of the rectangular base. 6 is going to be the width. 10, that's the height of the pyramid, the inside height. Okay, so go back to that formula. Volume equals length times width times height, all over 3. And then we go 12 times 6 times 10. And then we'll divide by 3. So first you have to do multiplication. So 12 times 6 times 10, that's 720. We divide by 3, and you're going to get volume is equal to 240 yards cubed. Okay. So again, volume of a rectangular pyramid. We do the length of the base times the width of the base. So the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle times the height of the pyramid. Okay, the distance from the base to the peak. And then we multiply those first, divide by 3. That's your volume. Okay, remember your proper units. Okay, so cubic units. Okay, so just like yesterday's assignment, this one will also be on ALEX. So e-learning 520 on ALEX. So you'll have some questions that require you to calculate the volume of a rectangular pyramid. Okay, so until next time, see you guys later.